cousins, ninth cousins, 10th cousins are all family. He began to break up that idea, to teach that there was no such thing beyond a first cousin. To begin to teach something that once your grandmama is old, put her in a home. Begin to teach notions that somehow males and females could be interchangeable. One could be the male for a while, the other could be the female for a while. It didn't matter. In fact, you didn't need to. Try nothing but single family marriages. You can do something like have your babies in test tubes and raise them in mason jars and send them off to some computer to teach them what they need to be taught. That somehow the notion that you really didn't even need a family system were ideas established by Set. And the Osirian spirit began to be infused because of the mutilation that was taking place. And so they began to believe. The sisters began to say to the brothers, I don't need you. I can do for myself. The brothers began to say to the sisters, so many of them around here, sister, you don't want me, I'll go find 10 others to replace you. That somehow the sense of responsibility and the alliance that existed between the two became something that was severed, cut up by Set, because he understood that the body had to be mutilated or it might come back to life. And then they began to say, well, let's do what we can in terms of not only dividing the family, let's divide the people politically. Let's begin to split them up in all kinds of strange camps. Let's make some of them communists. Let's make some of them Democrats. Let's make some of them Republicans. Let's make some of them Rastafari. Let's make some of them this. Let's make some of them that. Let's make some of them a little bit of everything and let them believe that the club that they have joined is what they are. Mutilation. Cut them up. Let them begin to lose sight of the natural unity, the natural oneness, the natural connectedness that exists within the one body of Osiris. Let's begin. Listen. Let's give them as many clubs as they want. Let's let them be Methodist and Baptist. And let them be sanctified. But not one kind of Methodist and Baptist. Let's make them all kinds. AMEs, CMEs, AMEs, Zions, United MEs, MEs, DMs, all of them. Let's make them not just Baptists, but primitive Baptists, missionary Baptists, wash feet Baptists, clean foot Baptists. Let's make them all kind of Baptists. Let's christen some of them, baptize them. Let's take some to the river and let's pour water on the other. Let's do whatever we can to them. Let's burn up it all for them. Listen. And what makes it so bad, you got to remember now that ISIS had slipped in earlier. And it already told them that, look, ain't none of this you. You are really one who seeks submission to God and find peace by submitting yourself to the oneness of the order of nature and bringing yourself into alliance with that. And that's your true nature. So, listen. So then they began to put up some other camps. Let's make you a Sunni Muslim, a Hanifa, Nafi Muslim. Let's make you an American Muslim. Let's make you a Nation of Islam Muslim. Let's make you a Muslim, non-Muslim, Arab-wearing Muslim, Arab, non-Arab talking Muslim, a Quranic Muslim, a book talking Muslim, all kind of stuff. So they were in the club. So Osirian body had been split up again. So not only were the Muslims at war with the Christians, but the Christians were at war with each other. Not only with each other between the Catholics and the Protestants, but the various kinds of Protestants within the Protestants were at war with each other. So not only were the Protestants at war with each other, the Baptists who were the Protestants were at war with the other Baptists, so they went and started another church down the street. In the meantime, listen, mutilate the body. Chop it up into 14 pieces. Spread it all over the land. Let it float down the river, and you can never get Osiris back together again, or so you think. All of these divisions were engineered by Set, who understood that Osiris worked as a body, a singular body, moving in a singular direction, held together by a singular principle, moving with a single aim, a single destiny, and understanding its unity. But in order to keep the body broken up, you had to mutilate it. And then you had to come up with ways to make people take their productive energy and disperse it. So they had people believing that the only way to acquire wealth, the only way to acquire the material things that you need in a world, is for everybody to do for himself. So there was one boy trying to get his pockets full and wouldn't give anything to the other one. Then there was another sister who was trying to get him to give part of his to her so she could keep it for herself. And everybody was doing for themselves. In the meantime, they were taking their pennies off to set as soon as they got them. Listen, couldn't bring a penny together with each other. But every penny they got, they kept it in their pockets for a minute and ran to set in the next minute. Here, Mr. Set, you can have it back. You'll give it back to us next week. Over and over again. So here was another mutilation. Look, man, I don't care what you say. All this black stuff is good, but I got to look out for myself. I got a family to look out for. I got to be able to develop myself economically. Brother, I'm trying to build an independent business here, and I need to be independent, and I need it, but I ain't got time to work with these other kinds of movements, because this is what my group is doing right over here. Now, you want to come work with us, that's fine, but I can't come over there with you, because I got to build for self, do for me, right here on this spot, and don't come in. This is my money that belongs to Seth. That is the principle of economic division. Because as long as you work just for you, you will end up in the condition you're in right now. Poor, hungry, with nothing left to call, look to nothing. You know what I mean. You know, every time I come to Dallas, I'm fascinated by the tremendous industrial and economic growth that exists on that side of town. Listen. Glass buildings. All kind of shapes. They even got them with pyramids on top of them. These are arrogant folks in Dallas. Arrogant folks. Got pyramids on them. And have them all kind of laid out in all these places. This place is built for the 21st century. These people have already left this century. They've gone to the next one. And you all ride around in your beat-up jalopies talking about, we live here in Dallas. Look at our city. Our city, you don't know, they have what do they call it? Not a redevelopment, what they doing in South Africa when they move people out? Not rezoning. What's that word? Relocation plan. That's what it is. They got a relocation plan for you. You probably won't even be in Dallas much longer because of the absence of a sense of economic development as a body. Brothers and sisters, we have to understand that this is a well-conceived type of plot that has us busily working against the oneness of the body. It has us busily putting pennies into different pots. We have the black social workers trying to outdo the black psychologists. So they have their convention at the Hyatt Regency. And then the psychologists say, we're going to outdo you. We're going to have ours at the Sheraton. And then here come the National Medical Association. They say, we got more money than anybody. We're going down to St. Thomas and have it in the biggest European hotel we can find there. And then they decide we're going to have dinner. And then they go to the biggest hotel, restaurant for no serving, no cooking, tasteless European food and pay $80 a plate. Listen, don't even go to a hotel where they got sisters and brothers cooking in the kitchen, where you can know where the food is good. They don't even go there so indirectly we can get some money. They look like they go and inspect the kitchen. They say, I want to be lily white. Nothing black here anywhere, dirt or people. And then they can go there. But this is the kind of insanity that it serves to keep the body of Osiris mutilated, divided, at war with itself because of the division that's there. And then there is the spiritual division. The spiritual division that makes it difficult for us to understand that spirituality is bigger than religion. The kind of division that makes it difficult to understand.